Welcome to another episode of Gracias Come Again. Today, we're going to be educating the public. We're going to be talking culture. We're going to be talking history. We're going to be talking issues. We're going to be talking comida. Welcome, my guy. Word Life is in the building.
Facts is facts. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I got to give you flowers, too, for creating a dope platform for Latinos to have a voice. So, I appreciate you. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm so happy you're here because the way you talk and the way you put on for your people, that's what I want to do through this show. So I was like, nah, we've got to sit down. We've got to talk.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. As soon as they, I saw the email, I said, oh, yeah, I definitely want to do that. I kind of pick and choose sometimes. I'm like, I definitely want to do that one.
And, it's for us. I created it for us. So a lot of people are just like, I've got to do it.
For sure,
Because si tú estás haciendo contenido para tu gente, tú no puedes decirle no a alguien que creó contenido y una plataforma para tu gente. You know what I'm saying? It's just like...
You got to help the community. Everybody is doing their thing, especially us. We got to put on for each other.
Exactly. When it comes to music, when it comes to movies, whatever it comes to, it's like, if they're creating something for us, let's consume it. Why not?
Sure. That's why I say, people ask me all the time, like, why you don't talk about Puerto Rico? Why you don't talk about other... I'll say, this is a platform that's for us. I take it from the FUBU, for us, by us. I talk about what's going on.
I say that all the time, too.
Yeah, so it's kind of like built for that. If you want to learn about the culture and all that, come to my platform.
You're a rapper?
Yeah.
I was stalking your music. What are you focused on now mostly? Being a content creator, being an influencer? What do you title yourself right now in 2025?
I just title myself Word Life. I don't know, because everyone calls me different things. You a rapper, what influencer like? Me, I'm just,
You're a creator?
A creator, I guess you could say.
An artist?
An artist overall, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I do a lot of different things. I do merch, I design. I also do all the graphics that you see on my videos.
Oh, you do?
I do all of that stuff, you know what I mean? So, I work with a production crew, but all the other stuff that I add on to the videos and all that, I do all that. So, I'm a little bit of everything, I guess, an artist.
That's because you're a perfectionist. That's why you do that yourself.
I overthink a lot of things, too. So I go in there and make sure, this is how I need it to be. And I want it to look a certain way, So I took,
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
How annoyed do people get at you?
Oh,
They're like, just let it go. Just let it go.
No, especially talk to my team. Like, you just let it go. It's all right, bro. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it's that one little thing I need to change. He's like, bro, no one's going to even notice. I said, yeah, they will.
We notice, right?
I'm going to notice. They're going to get on they're going to be tight. Like,
can we talk about the fact that when you're the face of a brand or a product or a platform, it's different?
It's way different. Yeah, you gotta just really put on and make sure everything is, polished, I guess you could say.
Nobody knows who video is. Nobody knows who audio is. Nobody knows graphic designer is, but they know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why it's important. I think it's important to me and my brand. I tell everybody all the time, that's why I say I pick and choose what I want to do, because not everybody's, style
aligned.
Aligned with the quality I want to bring and deliver to the people. So I think that's, what it is.
And I respect that because I live by that.
Yeah.
It's my name. People are like, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine. They're seeing Honey German. They're not seeing you.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's in the background doing things. You know what I'm saying? You want me to let it go?
I'm the one that takes the hit. You the one that takes the hit.
Exactly. Like, word. So she didn't see that? Even when we use, software to cut clips, I'm like, fix that name, fix that typo. They're like, who cares? I see typos all the time. I'm like, I don't want a typo.
I don't want it to be representing, showing what I'm worth. I'm worth a little more. My value is important.
Somebody gets me because... It's a daily thing for me as far as like coloring, video, clips. I'd be like, the audio. That person sounds low. Can we raise that? They're like, no, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I'll be sometimes. I did a Tito Trinidad interview. I
saw that
last week, and in the background, you could kind of hear a little. They were talking.
Well, there's people there. You had a lot of people in the background.
No. At the interview, it was just like this.
Oh, okay.
It was his wife and my team. Two guys on my team, and you could kind of hear them in the background. I'm mad. I'm telling like, yo, why were you talking in the back? I can hear it in the clip. Nobody's gonna. I noticed, and it's getting me tight. Like,
right? and it messes with you when you're that type of person. It's like you hear and you're like, wow, somebody was talking.
For sure, exactly.
Like sometimes Ahmed stays in the room and then he starts eating over there. And I'm like, I'm going to murder this guy.
Yeah, in the studio where I filmed the clips, that same thing. I need everything to be on a certain way and I got to be on point. And if you're in the background doing something or just making a move or something, it's going to distract me. So I need to be on point.
How distracting is that? Especially when you're creating or you're interviewing or you're just in your zone and people think it's okay to start throwing things and start.
I tell people, I lock in. Like, I don't know about everybody. I lock in. So if you like this interview. I've been locked in. I've been looking all year. I've been just
It's me and you.
paying attention. You know what I mean? And I want to be on point when I show up. So if I'm not on point, then and if something's just bothering me or is distracting me, it takes away from all of that. It takes away from what I could deliver. You know what I mean? So it's very distracting. It's annoying. Like, just relax. Let me get this out the way. It's only gonna take an hour, 30 minutes, and we good. We can do whatever we want after that. Eat all them chips you want after that.
How you eating? I'm gonna tell you after we're done. He'll eat cookies and stuff and drink soda while me and you are discussing things. I'm like,
and be in the point things, right? Be in there just snacking on some Cheetos or something.
You could wait, but
well,
but you know what? That tells me everything I need to know about why your content is so great.
Thank you.
Why it's being shared so much, and why it's just hits.
I think I tell people all the time, they ask me like, yo, why? Because I'm not the only one that does this type of content. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that do their style of, I call it the DIY style, like, the do-it-yourself style, where they do the cell phone. And I actually pay a production studio and company. I put in money into this, invest into myself and my brand and what I deliver. So I think it's important. I don't think it's just me per se or the stuff I talk about. I think it's all of it as a package, the quality that's being delivered and everything else involved. So I just it's part of it.
You're holding everything to a standard,
of course.
which is what I'm talking about. You make sure your audio is good. You make sure your video is good, the quality, the coloring. And, a lot of people don't really lock in that way.
For
they're
sure.
like, they put out, and they're not consistent also.
Yeah.
How many times a week do you post?
Once a week.
But you only pick like the best clip?
No, I post it's kind of like, I have a kind of a schedule more or less that I'll shoot.
Like a content calendar?
Yeah, I'll shoot a certain amount of clips in one session, and then I'll have them stacked for, I try to drop once a week, maybe Mondays or Fridays or something. Like, I just try to drop once a week, and I time it out depending on what's going on in the world, and there's something that jumps all of that stuff that I'm talking about, like the Bad Bunny situation that happened. I jumped on that ASAP. I went to just shoot that clip and dropped it the next morning.
You're like,
so
I need to get to a studio
I
right
need
now.
to do something quick, get it done now. And it was actually my producer who called me. He's like, yo, you need to get in the studio. I didn't even know about it. Like, it just happened, and he called me. He's like, yo, you need to be in the studio, like, the next 10 minutes.
And we're talking, when he was announced as the NFL?
When the NFL and the kickback that everybody gave,
right.
the response that it brought, like, literally the next day I went to shoot. When they announced it, by that night, it was enough feedback, negative feedback, that I was like, yo, I got to talk about this. You know what I mean? So I went
on
TV
morning to talk about it, because I'm like, nah, you know what? We're not going to let this go out like that.
It's important, yeah, because if they control the narrative if they want, and they could, the headlines to these blogs and all that, they control a lot of stuff. So it's like, okay, let me make sure, let me do my part as far as, who's tuned into my, my community. Let me put something out there for them to understand, you know what I mean? So, and
that's dope, and I respect it, because if we don't do our part with everything that's happening right now, we're gonna just be painted in a light that it's not real.
I think the Latinos' struggles and the voice here in the United States goes unheard sometimes, and I feel like we got to do our part. That I have a platform now. If you asked me 10 years ago, would I be Mr. Facts Puerto Rico guy on Instagram? I was like, hell no, I wouldn't have been. Like, I would have looked at you crazy. Like, what
were you doing 10 years ago?
I was a rapper. I was on tour. I was touring with a lot of major artists. I was in Dallas actually, and I had dropped a record that.
You were living in Dallas?
Yeah, I went to visit my mom's, and I was there, and I had gotten a little bit of trouble out there, so I had to stay there for a little bit. And throughout that time, it changed my whole life, because I dropped a record that went crazy regionally over there, and I just started touring. I started getting booked for a lot of shows down there, and I met the production crew that I'm working with now. I met them during that time too. So I was everywhere, but it was cool.
Where were you born?
Here in the Bronx.
Okay, so you're a Bronx kid.
Yeah.
Parents both Puerto Ricanos?
Yeah. My dad was born and raised here in New York, but my mom's from Carolina.
Okay, so mom is from the island. Dad is a Boricua from New York.
Yeah, New Yorican for sure.
That's what's up. Now, as far as like you connecting to Puerto Rico, the way that you are connecting now, do you study it? How do you spit all these facts?
My whole life has been about, like, I tell people, don't believe it, but it's like I've actually paid attention to my culture and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I've paid attention to a lot of stuff growing up, and stuff that I've experienced when I was in Catalina, visiting my moms or visiting whoever.
Have you lived in Puerto Rico at any point?
Nah, I never.
You just feel so
months.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
I'm like, I need to
like,
get to the bottom of how you learned all this Puerto Ricanness.
And then I just know a lot of stuff. And then the book War Against All Puerto Ricans came out in 2015. And when I read that, I was like, dang, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like, this is stuff that's from the history that I didn't know. And to understand where we're headed, we got to understand, and where we're at now, we got to understand what happened and what got us here. So I was like, let me, I started going through what is it called, the rabbit hole,
Went
whatever.
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So I started going all that, and I was like, wow, it's just so crazy. And then just the first clip that I did wasn't even about none of that. It was about like Bad Bunny and the music industry, about how Latinos have taken over the music industry. And there's a clip that went crazy, and then it went crazy in a negative way because a lot of other cultures and communities and people were like, yo, you being racist, you talking about, because I kind of compared it to how reggaeton and Bad Bunny artists like him are streaming in the billions compared to rappers, I named a few that are streaming in the millions. I say it's a big difference because you got different cultures surrounding and supporting it. And it went negative. People were saying I'm being racist and all that. And then the next clip I dropped was about the Puerto Rican flags, the 4 Puerto Rican flags. Mm-hmm. And that one, I went super crazy, and I was just like, yo, this
in a good way.
In a good way, and I said, okay, now I know a little purpose. I got a little purpose now, so let me see how it goes, and just.
What year was this?
A year and a half, 2 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a year and a half. I'm brand new to this influencer world. I don't even know, I'm not even know what's going on. That's why you asked me, what are you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a guy named Word Life. I don't know.
Not a guy. I'm like, what do you want us to call you now?
Word.
But what you're doing out here is super dope. I love it. I respect it. And I'll never question why you're only doing Puerto Ricans. Because you know what? Ese tu gente. Those are your people. That's what you know. And I tell people all the time, what we know is what's going to come off most authentic.
For sure, yeah. And I love Puerto Rico and everything about it. I say, and the fact that I'm here and spreading and teaching, educating people that are Puerto Ricans that didn't know this either is like, just to me, it's just a humbling, and I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful for the community I built, the platform I got, and I'm just, people like you who invite me to come and talk, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I'm just thankful.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about Puerto Ricans?
The biggest misconception, in my opinion, is you got to be a certain way. Like, they act like you Puerto Ricans is a certain look or a certain sound or a certain thing. But, Puerto Ricans come from everywhere at this point. They migrated a long time ago. Not necessarily migrated. They went and looked for better opportunity a long time ago. We can't control where we're born. But, it's a little bit of everything. We're a little bit of everybody. You see dark-skinned Puerto Ricans, you'll see light-skinned Puerto Ricans, you'll see people that look like me that's Puerto Rican, you'll see people that's wearing, that look like just straight Puerto Rico,
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess all of us have that, because, you have the black Colombians, same way you have the black Dominicans. Yeah. So it's like when it comes to Latinos, we're such a mixture of different humans that it's just like we can come in any shape or form.
We walk and we come from, if you look at the DNA, we got 3 different cultures that's there, you know what I mean? It's not just going to say Puerto Rico, it's a little bit of everything right now. So
give me a breakdown. Can you right now on the spot about Puerto Ricans, your makeup, how Puerto Ricans came to be, what is your DNA composition?
My DNA?
Yeah.
I'm indigenous. It says indigenous. I think I forgot, like small percentage. Large, we got a large.
So you're Taino?
Yeah, of course. We got the small indigenous in there, and then we got the Spain, the Spaniard, the European side, and we also got the Africans. Our bloodline, because they all came from the island as slaves and all that. So we got a little mix of all that. If you look at a picture of my great grandma, she's dark, like dark like my jeans, and then you see the rest of us, we're light skinned. You know what I mean? So it's. Yeah, I mean.
Have you studied your lineage? I feel like that's something you would have done.
I'm still learning. I'm still going. I'm talking to my dad, my grandma. I'm with my grandma in the Bronx earlier, and I'm asking them mad questions about different things.
Are you taping it?
Nah, I do a lot of notes and I write down a lot. If you look,
you want that. That. Especially with grandparents. Like, I wish I would have interviewed my grandmother.
I know. I didn't even think about that until now.
You should. Yeah,
I appreciate
because,
that.
One day they won't be with us any longer. Exactly. When they get older, and then you could hear their voice. Like with my mom, my mom right now, she's going through some health struggles, and I'm like, I need to sit down with her.
Yeah.
I want her to tell me everything, her childhood in Dominican Republic, through her migration to America. Because one day she's not going to be here anymore. And you know what? I can play it and I can listen to it.
She's my last, on the one hand, in the Bronx, she's my last grandma here. So I'm like, I got to learn everything from her. You know what I mean?
Absorb, right?
Absorb everything. I need to know everything. I'm looking at pictures from when she was a baby. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
It's so crazy how we become so thirsty for information about our roots, right?
Yeah. I think for me, it's the older I got, I was more interested, because as a young, I was touring, doing a lot of stuff in the music industry that I was just like, not necessarily paying attention, but it was always in me. Like it's always, if you talk to anybody that know me growing up and all, like, yo, he's always represented Puerto Rico. He loves Puerto Rico. So I think the older I got is when I realized that.
But you look so damn young. You keep talking about 10 years ago I was rapping, and I'm like, how old is this man?
I don't want to put it out there like that, but I'm
You
young.
don't got to.
I'm young. I'm young. You know what I'm saying? I ain't up there like that, but at the same time, I've experienced a lot. My journey's been a long journey.
Well, you're from the Bronx, and
Yeah.
you're Puerto Rican, and here in New York, we go through a lot.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
By the time we're 20, we don't live like 3 lives.
It's a different world, you know what I mean? And I've been to back and forth to a lot of different places and all that, and my journey's an experience journey, so I just, I'm just thankful for everything, but I look at it like I don't know, I appreciate it more now than I did probably like 10 years or 15 years ago when I was a kid in Puerto Rico. Like, I'm trying to get whatever we did in the Bronx over there. Like, I'm trying to act like I'm in the Bronx in Puerto Rico as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So, but now I appreciate everything about it. It's a different feeling now that I'm, older, I guess you could say, whatever.
When's the last time you went to Puerto Rico?
Like a few weeks, like last month I was there. I was there on me and a few other influencers was there for the Bad Bunny experience. We was stayed at the Turista house. They had it was a whole experience that they had us in, and it was pretty cool. It was fun. But I'll be there a lot because I just bought I just took control of my grandma's house over there in Carolina.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
All these houses in Puerto Rico and the issue that Puerto Ricans have with paperwork.
Oh, no,
when
yeah.
When it comes to inheriting houses and, not being able to, the houses are empty. And I was reading an article, and it was a lot, with Hurricane Maria and, the people that migrate. But a lot of it has to do with that, with the paperwork and, inheritance. Where do you stand with that, and how did you make it happen?
It was different for us. It was a blessing. It was already in my grandma's name here in the Bronx, and
okay, so it was easy for you. But
so
you know what I'm talking
but
about.
I know,
right?
like, for example, my dad, he has like 7 acres of land in Sabre, right? And it's so long ago that he doesn't really know about the paperwork. So I tell people, like, yo, there's lawyers that you could just hire that'll guide you through it. Of course, you gotta, do your due diligence and find out who's the best or who could work, that's good for what you're trying to do. But there's a lot of land that we could go back and buy, and just inherit back into the land. We can't let these guys, everyone else come and take control of what's out there.
Can you talk about it, please? I want Puerto Ricans to take back the island.
Take back, yeah.
Yo, go back, buy these houses. And I know there's a lot of, red tape and there's different things, but I don't want people like Jake Paul to end up taking the island over.
And that's what's happening. I said, yo, we're going to lose. One of the videos I said, we're going to lose our culture because they're coming in. They want us out and they want to come in, you know what I mean? And even here, they tell us it's a weird dynamic because it's like us Latinos that's born here in the States, there's, like I said earlier, they try to, the Latino voice goes unheard sometimes, our struggles and our problems, because it's like, yo, you're born in America, you go back home. And it's like, well, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm born here, and go back home. What does that mean? Well, y'all want us out, and then I'm confused because y'all telling us to go home, but y'all want to go there and take over and take the land from us, you know what I mean? But y'all want us to leave too, but go back. It's a confusing situation, you know what I mean? But people, like, I tell people all the time, I say, yo, go look into your grandma's houses and make sure the paperwork is right. Go talk to some lawyers and explain your situation to them, and they'll find a way to help you out. And if you're not feeling the vibe, then there's plenty of other lawyers you could talk to. But
you can't give up.
Of course not. The internet, Google's free. Like, you can learn a lot on your own and learn who to work with and all that. So, you just never give up. Like, just continue.
That's your house. That belongs to you. Your grandma's house that's been closed for 10, 15, 20 years, that has value.
Yeah,
and I understand we get caught up in the everyday life here in the U.S. and we're like, the house is closed, I'm not going back. That's generational wealth, whether you realize it or not. It's not happening here. It's not a house in Long Island, but it's a house that has value.
And it's in a beautiful place that they all want to, take control of. So it's like, yo, you take control back, and go and invest into your island, to your people, and to your culture and your family. At the end of the day, don't even worry about everybody else. Your family, like majority of Puerto Ricans got their family still over there, so just look into it. And grandma's not gonna do all that. She's older. She's probably not gonna just sit there and study and research all the paperwork and the documents she needs for all that. So us, as the younger ones, as the grandkid, we go in there and figure it out for them, and make sure it's all good. Not as a thing for us, but as a thing for the family.
Protect your family
for generations to come. You know what I mean? And I think, the house, that's why I did that with the Carolina. So I want to make sure that it's not going anywhere, you know what I mean?
That's good for you.
And that's what we did between me and my mom and the rest, and the family and all that. We make it happen. And I think everybody, is not everybody, but I think a lot of Puerto Ricans should go and do that. Or Latinos, not just in Puerto Rico, but anywhere.
Anywhere where your family owns a home and where you have memories.
Yeah.
Esa es mi casa de mi abuela. That's where I went when I was 5. That's where I went when I was 10.
We used to have parties, or we used to have them Christmas parties, and
You used to go for Navidad?
Oh yeah, I used to be out there. You see pictures of me before the Bad Bunny with the Hebrew hat and all that. I'm a little baby with the little hat walking
He
around.
said, I been did that.
We did all that. We did all that. I got pictures to prove it. A little baby, with says Puerto Rico. We used to have a good time. I think I got my Jordan jersey, the pinstripe, in Puerto Rico. It was probably bootleg, but it was like I was in there like, yo, I got it in Puerto Rico. Like
you came back to the Bronx. You were like, I got my Jordan jersey in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico, you ain't got this one. It's fake. I'm like,
I love that, man. Now, educationally, college, what did you do?
High school, yeah. High school, yeah. I barely,
you
barely
just feel
got through.
so like educated and so knowledgeable that I'm like,
I was saying, like,
he gotta have a couple of degrees.
Google's free these days.
You're doing a great job. You had me thinking. I was like, oh, this man definitely got at least 2 masters.
I wish. I should probably jump back into it. Education is very important these days, and especially I tell people all the time, Google's free. You can learn, and there's a lot of misinformation.
Just fact check. I was just gonna say that.
Fact check. There's a lot of misinformation. Just fact check what you got to look at, and triple check it. The chat GPTs, all that, do all that, you know what I mean? Just make sure it's on point, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of misinformation. But having something like this that we didn't have, or, our parents or whoever didn't have to learn and all that, it's a blessing now. Because, we could literally put this in our hands and just study and learn and educate ourselves,
That'll put together a whole marketing plan for you. You tell them what you want to do, and it's going to put it together.
That's
with
a fact.
ChatGPT and Google and AI,
facts.
there is nothing you can't do. Like the way that you can, manifest and put yourself out there, you be like, I want to be a massage therapist today, and in a year you could be.
I learned how to file a trademark through.
You did it yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself. They charging, some lawyers are charged certain prices and all that. I was like, nah, let me figure it out.
I trademarked my name too. It took me hours, but I did it.
It took me days actually, and I did it.
No, I locked in a whole day. I was like, I'm not gonna stop till it was hours and hours but you see, you did it and I did it.
Yeah, that's why I say I educated myself, and that's the same.
And you
way.
saved mad coin.
And I said, mad bread. I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna figure it out. And if it kicks back, because you get an opportunity when it kicks back, and if it's something wrong with it, then I'm able to fix it. I learn how to fix it.
What did you trademark?
I did. I trademark facts is facts and all that. That's all me. But I had dropped the Bad Bunny video I was talking about when the Super Bowl. The people that was hating were mainly the Magabichos, and I call them Magabichos, but the MAGA world was the ones that was pretty much hating. So in the video I said, you got these haters, these Magabichos and all that, and it spread it like crazy, like insanely, like all these people dropping these videos of Magabicho all of a sudden.
And you were like, I'm gonna trademark that.
And everybody's in my DMs and on my team. Everybody's like, yo, you need to coin that. You need to lock that in, because I've come to find out there's someone else trying to take it now, and he went and got the website. Immediately, and I'm like, oh, what? Like, it's something I've been, even if it's something you've been working on, it wasn't brought out until after my video. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, let me at least, so I trademarked that, the facts is facts, all of that, you know what I mean? So, I just learn, and it's a part of growing, so.
Now let's talk La Casa de los Foques. Do you watch?
I've been too busy to watch.
What do you mean? Come on.
I've been so busy, but I've been, I mess with.
Farruko was there last night. Like, Puerto Rico is.
It looked like the Zeus network of Puerto Rico. It looked like it's going down over there. Like every clip I see is like them fighting or.
Well, yeah, but I was bringing it up because 2 of the guys that are there are Puerto Rican, Team Los Nenes, and it's just.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
It's all about Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico.
I thought all of them were Puerto Rican. I thought the whole show was based in Puerto Rico.
No, it's in Dominican Republic, but there's 2 Puerto Rican guys.
Yeah, okay, I know them. Well, I don't know.
Los Nenes, que son tan lindos los dos.
Yeah, I seen it.
And it just become a whole,
it's the new wave. It's crazy. I can't say what I have plans for because.
Wells was out there. Go School went out there.
Everybody. Now I've been seeing the clicks. I mess with a lot of the blog pages and the community pages, like the PR Strong Web by the Team Puerto Rico.
I'm pretty sure you're super busy, but you gotta lock in with your guys.
No. I didn't know, but I started seeing it like the last week or so, or 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yo, this.
Yeah, they're all locked in there for 30 days.
30 days, that's what it is?
Yeah,
wow.
They're locked in there 30 days, no phones. They don't know what time it is. But there's 2 Puerto Rican guys, and they're in there. They're so locked in. They're like making music. When they come out, they're going to be stars.
It's like the
It's like the real world.
the okay, the real world. Not
It's
the
like the
Love
real
Island.
world, but a lo foque over there in Dominican
Yeah,
Republic.
yeah,
He
yeah.
put the house together. It's called La Casa de los Foque.
Uh-huh,
But the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
I bring it up is because the two Puerto Rican guys is like every day.
They represent like that. Yeah.
They go. Listen, the way these guys are so Puerto Rican,
Really?
it just you're not Puerto Rican in front of them. That's
I
all
know
I'm saying.
exactly. Yeah,
They
that's what I'm
OD
saying.
with it. Like I'm talking about, like they are OD with it. The way they talk, the shout outs.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Okay. I know. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that went viral with the flags on the bed. And yeah, I saw that.
And I love them, you know what I'm saying? And I love the way, that all the Puerto Rican artists have come together and, to support them. Farruko
yeah.
brought them chains. He
Oh,
brought
really?
them clothes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna tune in then for
Lock
sure.
in,
Yeah,
lock
I'm
in.
gonna lock in on
I'm
that.
going to have to hit you. I'm like, tonight, such a Tego's coming tonight.
You know,
Whoever comes.
I'm interested in that because I've been reached out to by Hulu, different networks that reached out to me to apply to be on, like, Squid Game Challenge and different networks like that.
What we doing? You about to be on TV?
I mean, I don't know.
Talk to me.
I haven't got the call back. So it's just, it was Fear Factor was one of them. The new reboot of Fear Factor. The Mr. Beast games was another one.
Oh, that's a cool one. I like that one. I can see you on that one.
Squid Game, the challenge that just dropped. It was obviously so. That's pretty much what it is. It's something like a reality type of show where these, so I'm interested in all that. Like I want to get into that world and be a face in that world. So yeah, I definitely got to tune in and check it out.
You got to support Los Bori.
No, it's full of voters, full of Latinos,
Team Los
everybody
Nenes,
there.
you
Team Little Nene. Okay,
can
I got
send
it.
them money and everything. I got this one.
They need to send me money.
Michael Flores, I was going to send him a couple bucks, but then my husband was like, don't you play yourself and send that man no money.
yeah, for real. I was looking at you like, what you doing?
Don't worry about what he's Puerto Rican too. He gets it. He gets it.
I got you. Okay.
He knows I got weakness for a Puerto Rican man.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Now let's talk boxers.
Yeah.
You were with Tito Trinidad.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Do you know him or how did you connect?
My team, my agent reached out to Orlando Boxing Club. They were putting together the Tito Trinidad Invitational where they were putting up pretty much, I think it was like 30 fights of just up and coming boxers, new generation of boxers.
Okay.
All of them were like 3 rounds. But anyway, it was they called it Tito Trinidad Invitational. The first time they ever reached out to Tito. He's been dealing with a lot of other stuff, so he was finally trying to get back out there, and they reached out to him. They set up this whole event, and my agent happens to know, they live in Orlando. He happens to know one of the guys that was in Orlando. He said, yo, this Word Life, he talks about all the boxers, and he talks about the champions and all that. You should maybe include him. He's like, yo, I'm a fan. He follows my page and all that.
That's
so,
what's up. I like that. You
so,
see?
so
I know
the
who
fact,
he is.
The fact that he said, yo, whatever he need to get out here, I said, yo, for something like this, I'm willing to, just get me out there and we're gonna make it happen. And
you ain't asked for first class?
Nah. I ain't do all that. Normally if you follow my feet, normally that's how I fly. But we ain't did all that. But I said I got to be there for that. And the only thing I want in return is to be able to sit down and ask Tito a couple questions. You know what I mean? And I do that a lot with some of the boxers, but I want to do it like this, a one-on-one with Tito, because nobody really, especially someone like me.
No, I have not seen him do anything.
And yeah, so now he's trying to get back out there and promote himself and all that. So it's like, okay, I definitely got to do that. And
What is he doing right now? Talk to me.
He's working on trying to build his boxing club, the Tito Trinidad boxing club. I think his sister runs it, and I think they're trying to grow that and build that. Yeah, in Orlando.
Okay.
And he's working on a lot of stuff. I asked him a few questions about things like, like, yo, you want to get back in the ring? He's like, yeah, if it makes sense,
But these exhibition fights that people be doing,
Well, that's why I asked him. I say, now we're throughout the years, entertainment and boxing has gone hand in hand for a long time. You know what I mean? And these exhibition fights is not new. It's not like Jake Paul started exhibition fights. It's something that's been going on for a long time now. I remember Muhammad Ali. I wasn't, around for that.
But you remember it happening.
I remember reading, studying about it, and Muhammad Ali was over there with Iris Chacon. Edie Chacon. She was there. There was some exhibition fight where they was all in Puerto Rico in the Choli. So I'm like, there's stuff that's been going on for a long time now. And I said, yo, are you willing to get back in the ring for like a fun exhibition fight? And he said, yeah, I'm not here to bother nobody. I'm just, I'm tranquilo, I'm chill.
His legacy is established.
She said, but if there's anybody, it'd be Oscar De La Hoya. So I'm dropping that clip on Monday, by the way. So
hello, De La Hoya, get it together.
Yeah, but he said he would do that, but he said, what he said was the ball's in your court. You know what I mean? So he's down, but he's not looking for it.
Listen, put that clip out. We got to make this happen.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to make it happen.
I definitely got to be in the. I'm a boxing fan, and I wanted to talk to you about different Puerto Rican boxers.
Yeah.
And I want you to just give me one word. We'll start with Trinidad. One word that you would use to describe Trinidad.
Goat. The GOAT. To me, he's my top number one, my favorite boxer of all time. So he's one word legend.
Serrano.
Serrano, greatest. She's the greatest right now.
Camacho.
Ooh, savage. Savage. Another one of my favorites.
What about Cotto?
Cotto, oh man, legend, another legend. Those are all in my top fives for sure.
Y Berlanga?
Berlanga, he's the chosen one. I call him the chosen
Word?
one. Yeah.
That's a good word.
I mean, that's what he calls himself, the chosen one. So I call him the chosen one.
So you
know?
just stick to it?
Yeah, I think he's up there. He's on his way up, and he's gonna have a lot of opportunities that he's coming up that it can't really be talked about yet. But he's got some opportunities that's coming in that he's gonna do, and he's gonna shock the world. I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be sitting down, me and Berlanga. We're gonna have.
I saw you was with him at the.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good conversation because with boxers, I feel like there's so much misconception because they have to put on, this persona that is not really who they are.
Hanging out with them is a whole different story. I was hanging out with all of not hanging out, but being around them.
Being in their space.
In their
space. Like,
yeah, you see it.
This person's so nice. But
it's so humble, yeah.
When they do those face-offs, you're like, what's happening?
Even Berlanga, like I've been around him a few times, and he's not like that. He's not like that on the way he's on those. Not even all the time, but these last couple fights, he's not like that. And, he's really humble, and he gives back, and he shows love to the people. So.
Oh no, he definitely does. They're dope humans, but sometimes we tend to just, grasp onto like that persona that we see when they do the face-offs and stuff like that. And it's not the case at all.
I like, I mess with Berlanga a lot because he was one of the first boxers out of everybody to follow my page. And back, like a year when I first started, doing all this, and he was one of the first ones to start supporting my page. So that's why I always show love back.
One thing about Puerto Ricans, y'all gonna support.
We're gonna support. We're gonna represent too.
100%.
Yeah, we're gonna represent 100% for sure.
Let's talk about Latino rappers. Let's talk pun. Let's talk Fat Joe. Let's talk our legacy rappers.
Yeah, I tell you, we was there from the beginning.
Talk
we was
about
there
it.
from the jump. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody say. Especially here in New York, there's a culture, a melting pot over here. We all mixed in together. You know what I mean? And we was there from the jump. If you go back and look at the history and look at the do your knowledge, you'll see that we were there from the jump. You know what I mean?
You can't erase us.
You can't erase. You can't take us out. You know what I mean? And I talk a lot about that. Was some of my early videos that went crazy. Was talking about that, and I used to get a lot of kickback from obviously the different companies and different people that represent, and they didn't like it. And it's like, well, you don't have to like the facts. The facts is facts. You can't erase the history. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. And and I talk about I saw you have Frankie Cutlass up here, and he was one of the early ones that was going on with the song Puerto Rico and.
You can't erase us.
You can't erase. We was there. We was there from the jump. What's his name? Charlie Chase, DJ Charlie Chase. He was in the first hip hop movie there ever. What's the other guy? I forgot his name. Oh my God, it's blowing my mind right now. Anyway, they were in the first hip hop movie ever created. You know what I'm saying? And we was there. You can't erase us out of the history books because we was there and we was representing and we was showing love to everybody. So I don't see why it would be a difference for anybody else to not show love back. You know what I mean?
I think it's an ownership thing. Sometimes I feel like when something is so great.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, I own it. It's mine. It's not yours, and I'm not like a toy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like when you're a child, I don't think it's like malicious or anything. I just feel like hip hop is so great and it's so amazing.
Hip hop is a culture. It's not like a one thing.
It's not an item.
Culture. It's not like it's everything.
It's clothing. It's graffiti. It's music.
It's the way you talk. It's the way you act. That's hip hop. You know what I mean? And it's not. And I know it's. In the beginning, it was a little different, but now it's grown so much that you can't exclude nobody because everybody was involved at this point. They've all put in their effort into changing what hip hop was.
Hip hop is a sancocho.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's a mix.
We all put in a little
a little flavor, a little sazon, and all of that. But you can't erase the Puerto Rican sazon that was in hip hop.
100%, especially here in New York. Like
it's the mecca. It's the birth of it. So in New York, it goes hand in hand with the Puerto Ricans and Latinos.
Go ahead, say it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It goes hand in hand.
Facts is facts.
Facts is facts, yo. I thought you was gonna say nah.
Don't put that pressure on me. I got my own slogans. I'll be saying, yo shit, you own your shit.
Copy. Nah, yeah, it's crazy though, especially in New York, like you said. It's it's a big city.
Music. What do you want to do with music? Talk to me.
I mean, I've done a lot of music.
I feel like you feel like you're done with music, or
not necessarily. Like, you know, I think now it's different now, where it's like, you know, my platform's a little different. It's bigger. It's grown to a whole different world, and I got different people paying attention, different opportunities coming in that I can't just be up there being that, you know, talking some of the stuff that I was talking before, you know, through my life and experiences. I've evolved, I guess you could say, yeah. So, you know, and I pay attention to certain different things now that I'm like, but I'm not done with it. Like, it's in me. Like,
I feel like it's in you.
You guys, anybody, like, I think I put out my first record when I was like 15 years old or something like that, recording on the, you know, through the headphone.
What was your first record?
I don't even remember. It was just some wild, I think I was rapping over like a Wu-Tang beat or something, like, and trying to make it my own song or something. I don't even remember what it was. I think I got it on tape somewhere, but.
You must preserve that.
Oh, yeah. It's like a trophy to me. It's like, yo, that's me? Like, that was me?
Are you a dad?
Nah.
I was going to say, how does your family feel about your content? Like, are they like, yo, this is dope?
They love it. They show love. My mom especially. Yeah, they share it. My mom especially. My dad. It's funny because it's like my grandma, right? I'm with my grandma today, and she was telling me how her pastor at her church is sending her videos
of you?
Of me, not realizing that's my grandson. Like, you know, my dad, before he retired, he retired early this year. Last year, his coworker, they're like, yo, you seen it? You know, they're not Puerto Rican. You seen this? And it's a video of me, and they're like, that's my son. And then he's sitting there like, what has he got going on? Like
the reach is far and wide.
It's crazy to me. It's like I said, I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I'm humbled by it. You know.
What are we doing next? Talk to me. What are we promoting? What's coming up?
I got a few things. I can't talk about too much, but
come on. You came up here with all the secrets.
I got a few things. Nah, I got a few.
What you got in the works?
I got to do.
What you got to do?
I got to do a few things, and that's not locked in yet. That it's gonna be locked in, but
top of the year.
Yeah, top of the year. I'm being Puerto Rico and Ponce, working on couple leagues that they got, the collegiate league over there. They want me to go to go do some stuff with them. Tomorrow I'm gonna be at the Puerto Rico versus Dominican Republic game at Citi Field.
You got a suite? I'm coming.
Yeah, they didn't give us a suite, but they gave us the dugout joints, you know, which we still.
It's crazy because I was looking at tickets this morning, and then my husband's like, "It's gonna be cold."
That's what everybody's saying.
I'm like, I want to go, and he's like, it's gonna be cold. I'm like, it's.
It ain't gonna be too bad.
Dominican versus Puerto Rico, come on.
But I said the same thing. I said, yo, you got these guys coming from 80-degree
they gonna be congelado.
And they gonna be like, yo, let's get this game over with. Like, they gonna be throwing strikes and nobody's swinging. Like, they really just get out.
It's definitely gonna be a fun time.
It's gonna be fun, yeah. So I'm gonna be there. I'm working on, the facts is always the main line, you know. So that's my first and foremost. Make sure all the facts is right.
That you gotta do. The pressure is on, bro. You can't be out here talking about facts is facts and be off point.
It's funny because it's been a couple times where I slipped up, and it's not, a lot of that stuff is not scripted. People think it's scripted.
Oh, I can tell it's not scripted.
Yeah, so I'll be in there just free, like just freestyling it, more or less from what I know. I got notes that I go over.
Straight
and
to
all that.
camera content is not for the weak.
It's not for the weak, and I've been doing it so long that I'm used to it. Like I'm like, all right, I know what I need to do, and I need how to look, how to sit, and we got a whole setup for that, and so I just make sure I've said a few things that. I've gotten a few things wrong,
It happens.
It happens, and they'll call me out in the comments.
I've said words wrong, and bro, they don't let me live. I'm like, Jesus, I just mistook 2 words.
What's funny is this guy, this kid, is influencer. Last year for the parade, I was at a club out here in New York, and the night before the parade, and I was hanging out with 50 Cent. We was doing mad different things. I can show you the videos. We was having a good time. I didn't leave that club until about 5 or 6 in the morning, like 4 Sunday in the morning. I think they closed. And I didn't get back to where I'm at. It was late. The sun was up. I had to be at the parade at a certain time. I'm still hungover and all that.
9 a.m. They expect you, especially if you're on a float.
This influencer comes up to me asking me mad questions about the facts of Puerto Rico, the history of Puerto Rico. What's this and what's that? I'm like, yo, bro, what?
Sir.
And this is my first time dealing with all these people that I didn't know who I need. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm hungover. And I'm like, bro, I was just hanging out with 50 Cent 2 hours ago. You asking me this? Like I don't know, bro. And it went viral, of course. Of all the videos, it goes viral, and then all the comments.
Oh, it was recorded?
Yeah, all the comments is like, "Oh, facts is facts, don't know his shit." Like,
facts is facts, don't know the facts.
Like, I'm sitting there like, "Yo, bro, I'm human too." At the end of the day,
of course, and you're not ready. It's not what you're doing at the moment, but that, and you have a very distinct look. Like I will always know it's you.
Well, thank you.
So of course he ran down on you. He knew.
He knew exactly what he thought I was gonna be on point, and I was like, bro, I just left the club 2 hours ago.
Not only that, you're not a walking encyclopedia.
I still got liquor on my breath, like I'm trying to chill right now. I'm trying to find where I need to go.
Hold on, let me find my flow. I'll be back.
Chill, so it's things like that I like. Okay, I got to be on point. You know what I mean? But
but it happens, especially when we're on, like we're speaking right now, me and you back and forth. You don't have a script, I don't have a script.
sure.
I have some notes, but it's gonna happen, and we're human.
Of course,
But what we do have to appreciate is when someone is creating content for a group of people that is not being properly represented.
Yeah.
We gotta, love them, uplift them, let them slide sometimes. Let me
sometimes,
slide. When I say my words wrong, I think it was like eloquently, and I said like elevantly. It was something weird. And bro, the YouTube video, all it was, oh, that word is wrong. Oh, that word is wrong. Oh, you mispronounced the word. I'm like, leave me alone. No jodan tanto, coño.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. The internet. I like the kind of engagement and the reactions and all that, but sometimes they get crazy.
And sometimes it'd be one comment that'll throw you off.
The comments really change the narrative of the video. They're the ones that kind of control the narrative, because if you don't go in there, and I reply back to some people sometimes, I'm like, nah, you're changing. You're not talking what's need to be said. You're changing the whole dynamic of this video.
Not helping here.
You're not helping here. Yeah, you're not helping here.
And they'll come back and they'll leave 2-3 more comments.
And they fuck around and have 5 other accounts that you don't even know, and they'll be like just spamming your shit. Yeah,
right?
botting your shit like, yo, you talking mad shit about you or the video, whatever it is,
No, but I want you to continue what you're doing. My husband loves your content. He's Puerto Rican, and he just...
Oh, what? That's fire.
This guy right here. All day. all day with the facts is fact. I'm like, I get it. I saw it. Just, you don't got to show me the videos every time. I follow him, too.
That's fire. Yo,
but I want you to,
I
want you to continue doing what you're doing. The way que, tú tienes tu bandera en alto, like Puerto Ricans are super proud people, but...
For sure.
The way that you're putting out, the facts, the information, the history... It's just beautifully done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And it feels very relatable. It doesn't feel condescending. You don't feel like you're trying to school people.
Yeah.
It just feels like, yo, here is what you need to know.
I tell people, I don't put my personal opinion in the videos. I just give you the facts, you know what I mean? And I don't talk about what I feel about some of this stuff, because that's what this is for. We can do it.
Yeah.
So I just keep it real neutral and just give you the facts, and it's up to you to go from there.
And you're a smart man to do that, because those videos are being shared by thousands and thousands and thousands. And if one of your opinions is misinformation without you even knowing it, you're doing us a disservice.
Exactly, to the culture, to myself, to everybody, and there's a lot of misguided and misinformed people out there. So I feel like platforms like yours and mine and stuff like it's important to have, because they could go and feel relatable to something that they're attached to, and they feel good with that. And I feel thankful that I was able to grow a platform educating people that don't even know. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans that don't know some of this. My mom was like, yo, I didn't even know some of this stuff.
You're schooling your own mom.
My grandma like, yo, really? I didn't even know some of this stuff like that.
Not abuela, surprise.
Yeah, there's certain things that they're tune in the way they tune in. They don't pay attention to all the politics and all that stuff. So they're like, wow, I didn't know that.
When would you have taught, right?
Yeah, who would have thought, right? I'm educating them, like what?
They raised you. They don't wipe your ass.
Yeah, I was supposed to learn from them, but I get it though. They all, when you get here to the States, it's different from you disconnect from the culture, and I think that's big important for us to, as influencers or whatever you want to call it, is to try to connect. Yeah, we try to connect the culture back to the people so we could go back and appreciate what we have.
And we can't, we can't let the culture die. Regardless of if we speak English, Spanish, Spanglish, or whatever it is that we speak, culture is so important. Our food.
Yeah.
La música, que si la bomba de plena, que si los pasteles en hoja, que whatever it is, que si vamos para Dorado, que si vamos para Luquillo, que los kioscos. Like, that's all. I know all this stuff through my husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I find it fascinating that, it still exists, that it's still...
We gotta connect. We gotta bridge the gap, I guess you could say. Same thing I told Tito. I said, Tito, well, how important, like, when you brought out Big Pun and Fat Joe to the fight, I said, how important was that to bridge the gap? Like, what did it mean? He said, oh, no, it was, I love my Puerto Ricans, whether you're born on the island or born in the state, wherever you're born, you Puerto Ricans in your blood. It's in your, we can't control where we're born. Like, our parents made decisions and that's them, their life was different then. So I can't be mad at it, but it doesn't mean I gotta disconnect from where I'm, from my roots and all that. So I tell people all the time, we gotta connect and try to, bring it back, and that's important in my opinion.
And Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, we gotta love each other.
Yeah, that was one of my second videos.
We all Caribbean.
That was one of my early videos. Like the Puerto Rican, I don't know. Here in New York, you might understand. The Puerto Rican and Dominican, like there's not necessarily a beef, but there's always like a competition
I
there.
feel like it's kind of like
it's kind
a
of
cute thing sometimes.
Yeah. So I talked
and we
about
love each other, and we marry each other, and we sleep with each other.
Yeah, I talked about it. I was like, yo. We all family. Those are our brothers and sisters. Like it's all
Caribbean.
family. Like we all. The video was pretty much about just the facts as far as like the comparisons. We're compared to a lot of this stuff that's already. You know what I mean? There's no reason why we should have a disconnect between each other.
Of course there shouldn't. We just say some words different. What do you call a straw? Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm still learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just we just have those words. Like some words we say
different,
different, but I feel like.
We're
Caribbean, we're Taino, African, Spaniard. We're the same people. We just have different islands.
Of course, yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Different stops. That's it.
That's it, because facts is fact.
Facts is it. We was on the same boat, just different stops. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
I want to thank you so much for making the time and coming up here. But more importantly, I want to thank you for the content you're creating.
Appreciate it.
And the positive way that you're depicting not just Puerto Ricans, but Latinos and New Yorkers.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And thank you, again, for your platform and what you do for having, giving opportunity for Latinos to come up here and have a voice. So thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
Gracias. Come again.
Gracias. Come again. Word.